So good day, everyone. Um, uh, Having done all necessary classes on pesticide handling, food safety, substrate management, um, nutrition, and whatnot, there is a need to know for officers on the field, there is a need to know how to calculate the dosage rates, even when the terminologies are not given. Now, this video is to the farmers that needs, or to the agronomists, or to the growers, or to the backyard farmers that actually need this. So today we are going to be using the code ACP manual, which is the code ACP crop protection strategy training. So let's just delve into it. The first page has it that the pesticides are recommended in 3 ways for field application. 1, per hectare. 2, the active ingredient. 3, the concentration of solution to be applied. That is, for hydrogen peroxide, where you have 50%, and you want to convert it to 5% for sterilization or 3% for sterilization, how do you go about it? How do you calculate it? That is what we'll be looking at in this video. Now, this will be the first part of this video. I'm going to try to cut this video into multiple parts. So the first part, we're going to be looking at recommendation 1. So for recommendation 1, how do you calculate amount of pesticide per hectare? How do you calculate the amount of pesticide per hectare? So you want to, there are some parameters that are needed to be known before you calculate. Now, there are some times where you've gotten all of these things, it becomes something subconscious. You don't need to actively list all of these things down. It's registered in your subconscious mind, and you just go ahead to just calculate it even without pen and paper. So first off, you want to identify the area that you're calculating for. So for your home case, it might be a greenhouse, a 192 square meter greenhouse, a 500 square meter greenhouse, a 400 square meter greenhouse. But for the sake of today's lecture, we're looking at 5,000 square meters area of land. These parameters, I believe we can see it. So let's just delve into example 1. Now, it is important to note, number 6 is very important, that whenever an hectare is stated on the bottle, like I have here, whenever an hectare is stated, but it is not written the amount of water, that is the amount of water that is to be used per that hectare is not written. It is only per hectare, per HA. You use 400 liters to calculate. So that is just important to state. So let's just delve into example 1. Now, where you have the total surface area of a plot to be 5,000 square meters, so let's put that down. 5,000, believe you can see, 500 meters squared. The approved dose of the fungicide to be used is 1 kg per hectare. This is the area of the land. This is the pesticide you want to use, that is the fungicide. The fungicide here is recommended at 1 kg per HA, that is per hectare. Please note, HL is quite different from HA. We'll get to that in the course of this video, or the second, or the one after, or the one after. After checking the adjustments, I read on, the volume sprayed is 200 liters per hectare. That is, it takes 200 liters of water to saturate that hectare of land. We don't know the type of sprayer they are using. It could be manual, it could be motorized, it could be electric. But it is so fast that it takes half liter of the required liter, that is 400 liters, to saturate that land. So it is stated there that 200 liters saturated an hectare of land. I believe you can see. The sprayer available has a tank capacity of 15 liters. So we have all of these things stated. Question 1, the first question. What quantity, so I'm just going to give you a breather, you can pause this video and try to solve it. What quantity of products must be measured per tank? Question 1. 2, how many mixtures must be carried out? 1, what quantity of, this is a biopesticide. So this is used for sterilizing. This contains mycorrhiza of different fungi. Mycorrhiza of fungi. So majorly used at the root zone of your plants, but can also be applied through spraying. So how many mixtures of this must be mixed inside that 200 liters? Because it takes 200 liters to complete an hectare. Remember, you are not calculating for an hectare. You are calculating for half an hectare, which is 5,000 square meters. So you can go the long route to say, oh, let me calculate for an hectare first. Whatever I get, I can now then divide it by 2 to get the amount it will take to calculate for half an hectare, which is 5,000 meter square. So answer, this was what was done here. So this was what was done here. So the area of land was stated here. If you can see my screen. Quantity of product was stated there, 1 kg. Sprayer capacity was stated there. Then the volume that is required to saturate an hectare was also stated there. So let's just delve into the calculation. The number of tanks are needed to be noted for an hectare. So how many knapsack would you carry on this an hectare? Since 200 liters is needed for that hectare, what you would just do is, since you have 15 liters, 200 liters divided by 15 will give you the number of time you will go. That is the number of knapsack you will carry, which is what? 13 knapsacks or 13 tanks. If you have any question, you can send it. So this will just be the first part of the video. We have recommendation 1, recommendation 2, recommendation 3, recommendation 4. Then we have all other exercises to treat, just for us to come to the knowledge of all of these things. Enough of mistakes, enough of overdosing plants and we're making these videos for subsequent trainings. So it takes 13 tanks to go on an hectare. Remember, 200 liters is 1 hectare. So we're going according to the books. This could have just been done right abstractly, and you would have gotten your answer. The next step is, what quantity of product is required per down knapsack? Since you need 1 kg for an hectare. So what quantity is required to go into 15 liters? So what would you do? 1,000 grams divided by 13 will give you 77 grams. of the pesticides. Do you understand? So now you have 13 tanks that will saturate the area. 1,000 will saturate 13. That is 1,000 for that 200 liters. Now, to get the amount of the dosage that will be in one 15 liters knapsack, 115 liters tank, what would you do? The whole 1 hectare, the amount it takes to saturate it, that is 1,000 grams. You divide it by the number of times you go to the field. So you will be able to get 1. So the amount of grams that it will take. So if you do 77 times 13, that's the amount it will take to saturate. So you divide it, division, division, division. So what you will just do is 1,000, I believe you can see this, 1,000 grams divided by 13 will give you the 77 grams. Everything we have calculated here is for an hectare of land. All right? Now, number of tanks to be sprayed per area, we already know it. In that hectare, rather, we already know it, which is 1,000. So we have a 5,000 square meter, which was given in the question. So whatever we have here, we do what? We divide it by 2. So it is so good to say what quantity of product must be measured per tank. We have gotten that one already, which is 77 grams. Now, question 1. What quantity of product? 77 grams. Now, how many mixtures must be carried out? Since we went 13 times for an hectare, that means the hectare divided by 2 will be 6.5 tanks. So that is the answer to that. 6.5 knapsacks. Shikina. If there's any question, please drop it on the group. Thank you. This will be the first recommendation so that the video won't be so long.